Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sonic 4 Episode 2. In the last one, we went through White Park Zone, both in the Winter Wonderland, the roller coaster, back to Winter Wonderland, only to end up back on the roller coaster to fight Metal Sonic, who makes his boss fight appearance since Sonic CD. And here we are in Oil Desert Zone, basically the Donald Duck zone of the game. You guys remember in Sonic 4 Episode 1 when back in the day people were saying that the music sounds like dying cats or something like that? We have ducks in this one. You'll hear what I mean. You'll see or hear what I mean in a minute here. But in Act 1, we got these little dung beetle enemies, which I hate. When they start doing their bomb, you can't try to attack them or anything like that. It reminds me a little bit of the fucking the little light bugs from Mystic Cave Zone in Sonic 2. But the dung beetle, Badnik, shoots it out, touch it, it's a bomb, and explodes. You can't directly homing attack it either because you'll end up hitting the bomb instead of the beetle. So you have to wait, essentially, in order for you to defeat it. Speed shoes on the way. We got a 10 ring box here, a 10 ring box there. And look at Sonic go through the loops and everything. Oh boy. You got a bunch of those dung beetle badniks. And the wind will blow left or right in this stage as well, and it will affect your movement. So you want to be careful with that. Be mindful of that as well. Beautiful. And then you just pretty much keep going to the right, as you always do in a Sonic game. I take the top route here, but you can take the bottom path. It's just going to send you back down anyways. There we go, Sonic. Taking your time like that. Look at you. Now we're getting close to the end of the level. This is a copter section, one of 2 in the entire game, I believe. Maybe there may be one more, but you have to use the wind to your advantage, and you have to use your copter ability to get through the death pits, glaring, as you can tell by the death pit sign of Sonic dying. Ooh! Except I failed. Trying this section once again. I backtracked a little bit just to get some range, just to secure the special stage. So we're going to do this one more time, and this time not without, without death and without hitting anything. So let's go shake and bake and look at him go. The key to that is to make sure you just jump as far as head. Again, use the wind to your favor. When you use Tails' copter ability, you only have 6 button presses to elevate yourself, because once you hit that 7th one, Tails immediately gets tired. And that's a tough section right there, because you go to the middle, to the top, which are limited button presses for your height. But no matter here, we made it through to Act 1, inside of the special stage ring, onto special stage 7 for the final Chaos Emerald and the toughest stage. Holy smokes. Here we go. we have obtained all 7 Chaos Emeralds as we begin Oil Desert Zone Act 2, the Quacking. But yeah, that special stage, I'm telling you right now, the raw footage that I was recording on this, I probably counted at least 10 retries and about 9 minutes before that final good cut there. So I know for a lot of first timers, it took upwards of a half hour, myself included. I'm guilty. It took me like a good 30 minutes plus my first time. And yeah, that's a doozy. But since we now have all 7 Chaos Emeralds, we have the ability to transform into Supersonic. Something that I want to show. But here's a nice little power up here. That little partner power up. Keep pushing down the corresponding button, in this case X. Gives you a shit ton of rings. Here we go, Supersonic! Let me get this nifty Supersonic music to replace the quack. And look at him go. He can jump super high, runs at twice the speed, has an aura surrounding him, and when you do the spin dash, that aura pulsates and mwah! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But Supersonic makes this game a whole lot more fun to go through. And it's just a great reward in this case for getting all the Chaos Emeralds. Like I mentioned in the very beginning, you really don't get any different ending or anything of the sort, but it is what it is. I still enjoy using Supersonic in this one as we complete Act 2. On to Act 3, a Crude Trap, laid out by Dr. Eggman for Sonic. By the way, I will try to be careful with using Supersonic, with the exception of this level here, but I try to limit the use of Supersonic throughout the rest of the game here because, you know, there are some good tracks in this one, and I want you guys to be able to hear it. I don't want the rest of the game, or I didn't want the rest of the game to be nothing but the Supersonic theme. So just going through our section here. The sand starts filling up. If you're not quick enough, that will crush you, essentially. And there's the crude oil. Very slippery to walk on, to run on as well. And if for some reason that crude is near fire, it lights up. Not that we don't have to worry about that, I don't think. Ow. Spike right to the ass. You need to homing attack those blocks, and you'll see plenty of those in the next act. Or in the next zone, excuse me. But you need to homing attack on that, and it takes 3 homing attacks for them to break. Unless you're Supersonic, and you can just bust through them like... well, whatever. I lost track what I was going to say there for a second. I'm not sure why. Come on. There we go. That's how you do that section normally. Up, Sonic's spin dashing on top of the ceilings there. Supersonic once again. And those are fire enemies, which, if they touch the crude, it lights up. Look at that. Go, Sonic. This section here, you have to hit those red springs to flip it over. All your important one's really just the bottom one there. There we go. Dung Beetle enemy with Supersonic though, just needs to let it rise up a bit, and you can just jump on through. If you happen to use a special like your partner ability, like the copter, submarine, or a rolling attack, screw the red ring. If you use the buddy ability, then you revert back to normal Sonic. You don't get to stay as Supersonic in that form. Act 3 is complete, and we all know what comes up next, folks. Oil Desert Zone boss, a giant born of scrap metal. Another unique Eggman boss fight for the game. And here, I'm just trying to collect 50 rings if I can, because here's what's special about Supersonic. Supersonic does double the damage. So what normally takes 8 hits to beat a boss with can be done in 4. Now, here's the problem with this one. I already lost my chance of getting the rings because I got through those 3. But there are rings on the boss fight as well. This boss loop lasts 18 seconds exactly. This boss can take upwards up to 5 minutes. You have to listen to an 18-second boss loop for 5 minutes. Can you guys do that? I've listened to a 30-minute loop of this on the way home from work. So I'm used to like repetitiveness, especially from the old game, from the old days of gaming. Holy shit, look at that. Again, I will give Sonic 4 credit where credit is due. These are some unique Eggman boss fights between the plant in the first zone and the scrap metal boss here. What you have to do, he's going to summon the boxes for it to drop. Smack him. If you do not hit Robotnik, he will raise his left arm from his perspective and destroy a column of boxes. You know which boxes are falling based on the arrows. They start off light, but when they start to get to orange and red, move out the way because it's going to drop right on top of you. Hit number 2. If the boxes fall on top of you, you take damage. It's not an instant death, thank goodness, but you do take damage. You do lose your rings. Use the copter ability to reach Eggman. That is hit number 3 right there. Should have moved out the way on that one, but luckily though, at least you do retain a lot of rings. If you get hit the first time, you can they're still collected in a bunch where you can still collect them all together. But the more hits you take, the more they fly away to the point where it's like them rings are just like, fuck you. Ow. Okay, Tails got crushed, not me, thank goodness. Luckily though, you can call him back. I lost what count it was, but as you can see there, he's going to start shooting down boxes that have spikes protruding from the top of them. Luckily, those green boxes will cover it, but there's a special other box that he's going to use within the last couple of hits of this portion here. He was going for that wind-up. Every time he does that slam, another set of boxes come on down. That's the 3rd box that comes through. There's a timer on there. That hits 0, it explodes and destroys the surrounding boxes. Or not. And on that 6th hit you see there, he just starts climbing up. You have nowhere to go. But the last part of the boss fight is coming up. You do have to make your way up there. He's going to bounce. 3 bounces is what it takes, and then he'll be on the right side. 1, 2, 3. Move out the way. Super special 69 attack. You need it to hit his legs, otherwise it won't register. Last hit, right on Eggman. Until next time, do like to thank you guys for watching. Hope you have yourselves a fantabulous day. Love, peace, and chicken grease to all, and to all a good night.